He's the Techno-Viper, baby. Coming to vipe your windows now. He wears that silver and two-tone purple. Nothing rhymes with purple. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Three Star Draw. I am Down South 77, and this is an adult collector channel where we talk about G.I. Joe, G.I. Joe related things, primarily G.I. Joe classified, and every now and then we're going to take a look at some other toys and some other topics and do a little discussion once in a while. So I've been playing hooky today. I was not feeling very good this morning. Had a Yeah, I'm not gonna go into details for you, but I didn't feel good when I got up, so I used a sick day. It's March, I got a bunch of them, so what better day to use one? But something I was hoping would happen did happen, and I got cheered up a few minutes ago because my FedEx girl come a knocking on my door. Actually, she didn't come knocking; she just put my stuff where it's supposed to go when she delivers. And I went out and opened up a big old box of Feel Good. So, of course, I am talking about the new wave of Joes. I got all of them today except for Quick Kick because I ordered him from a different vendor. So I don't know when he's gonna get here. I don't really care as long as he gets here. It's Quick Kick. I ordered him to get free shipping on something else. But today is something that I do care about, and I'm going to start with the very tip top of this wave for me, and this is a figure that I absolutely loved as a kid. I've been really looking forward to this guy. I've heard good things about the figure. I have not watched one single review, not even my favorite channel that I'm always on and looking at. I didn't even watch the review for that one. So I'm going to be seeing this guy live, firsthand, from my experience, the same way as you guys are. So I'm, of course, talking about number 117. Finally got my hands on Techno-Viper. I've really been looking forward to this figure. Look at that. Man, it just looks great, don't it? I've really been looking forward to this figure. This is one of my favorite Viper guys from back in the day. As one of the standout figures from 1987. I'm not going to talk a whole lot about that. I'm just going to mention that my dog is barking. Maybe? Nope. Let's try that again. Sorry about that. I don't know. He's got something against me. He waits till I'm making a video to bark. It doesn't matter. It's the daytime right now. It don't matter if it's day, if it's night. Anyway, 1987. I feel like 1986 was a year that the GI Joe train run over a bump on the track, and 87 was where it kind of started going off the rails a little bit. They corrected it a little bit later, but we had some weirdos in 1987, right? So look at some of the characters we got. I'm not going to go run down the list for you, but we had some very odd figures in 1987. I don't know what they were on in the Hasbro offices, but it must have been a hell of a drug. I think that was the last year that Ron Rudat worked on designing figures. I'm sure somebody will correct me, but I think that's what he told me when I talked to him. Anyway, I met him at a con. I don't like know him. So anyway, 87. This was for me. 87. This was the standout figure of the Viper dudes. I really always liked this guy. So I'm gonna quit talking about him. We're gonna go ahead and open him up. We're gonna take a look at him, and I'm gonna try not to do any more musical numbers about him. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get him out. No more foreplay with the box. Do have our window boxes back. Of course, we sacrificed the awesome artwork that we've had. We still got a little snippet of it on the side, so I'm glad that they did include the artwork on the front a little bit, and on the side we still get to see it. I've mentioned before, got the Cobra back there in the background behind it, which it looks fine. I don't really care for the Joe one. And these boxes do not have that funky carbon fiber looking nonsense that they've showed off the new ones are going to have, like the 60th anniversary guys have. So this is probably going to be the last bunch of really good looking packaging that we have for a while, or maybe ever. Man, I am impressed so far. I'm going to go ahead and get this dude out so we don't have to hear all of that. And let's go ahead and do that now. Please don't have any loose joints. Please don't have any loose joints. Please don't have any loose joints. Oh, man. Sorry you caught me. I don't know what I was doing there. Just after those 60th anniversary dudes, I am becoming more and more skeptical of these guys. Like, they're making them look better, but they're putting them together worse, it seems like. Go ahead and check him out. Man, he looks good. Oh, he looks as good as I hoped he would. That, man, looks nice. Those nice yellowish kind of green eyes in there. Let's check him out. I do have the hair dryer over here beside me. Should I have to stop and heat something up? Let's hope I don't. Got these pauldrons here that are nice looking, almost look a little translucent. It might just be the way the light's hitting it. Got some apps on it there. Maybe that's what it is. It's not translucent. Man, it looks like it from here to me, but it's painted a little bit, so it looks translucent. Man, that's really cool. I still got to fix this ring light. It is not the shade that I prefer. So I just want to see if we got any issues there straight out the box for blocks and blocks. And bottom part of the leg is pretty tight. All right, there we go. That one is very, very tight on that left leg, and I don't want to chance it, so go ahead. And he does have his little gadget here that the hollow thing can read in or plug into, so you can read it out on either side. Very, very nice looking paint on him. I don't see any issues there. A silver textured hose that runs across. He is a little loose there, more than I like. Good ratchet there on the ab crunch. So he's got the ab crunch, and I don't know, this, whatever system they're using to do this with, because I have not taken one of these all the way apart. They need to tighten it up. So it's not a big deal. I mean, he still looks like he's going to be posable. It's kind of harkens to the way that Serpentor was, like what we don't like about Serpentor with that loose kind of waist a little bit. It's not as bad as I've seen on him. I'm going to do that where you can see him. And of course he won't set up now. There we go. Drop down hips, the standard Joe articulation. Head movement's pretty good on him. That's actually really good. It's about as much as he can look up there and down. He's got more back and forth than he's got up and down, but you're going to have this guy's going to be bent over looking at a computer screen or working on your hiss, whatever you're going to do with him. Other than that, I am impressed with this figure. I'm impressed as much as I hoped that I would be with him. As far as looks wise, I don't see any kind of paint issues. Don't know what, of course, this is going to be all new here. I don't know what reuse he is. I don't particularly keep up with all that because I don't care for it, but I know that's the way that it must go. Usually I look at the weapons first when I do this, but I've been looking forward to this guy so much I needed to look at him first. So let's set him over there beside little Techni. I'll put him up here up front. Go ahead. We got to look at the backpack, right? This is, I do have the original. This is all that I have left of my original Techno-Viper. So you can see it matches up almost. It's almost identical. I mean, well, actually it is identical. More sculpting on it. Of course, they did the tanks in purple, which is a nice touch. They have this into a, I don't know, it looks like a fan, maybe some kind of a turbine to suck air through this thing. Now, we don't actually know what's in these tanks, do we? I think it was supposed to be plasma. That's what I always played with it as. It comes with this nice little pistol here. Not much to it. Wouldn't it have been cool if they'd have done some purple on this, made the slide purple or the handle purple, or the back part of the handle, just something, just throw a little paint on here that matched him. Maybe the handle and, you know, up here, the top of the slide or something. That way when you have it in his holster, he's still got a splash of purple over there on the side. I think that would have been cool, but I am not complaining. So he's got these little different tools here. And these were, I do believe, I didn't pull this file card, pneumatic tools. So these are perhaps air tanks to power these pneumatic wrenches to work on stuff. I believe that was what it said on his card. I'm so excited to go ahead and get this dude open. I did not even pull it, which I usually do to kind of go over it, especially with Joe's, because they've got file names. Now that one, oh, okay, well, help if I put it in the right spot, wouldn't it? That's what she said. So those fit in there very nicely. They're not going to fall out. I was worried about that. I'm pleased to see that they do store in there very nicely. And it's been some debate on how this thing goes on his back. Why does he only have one hose? Another friend of mine I was talking to last night, she had told me she got him and the hose seemed a little short, and she realized she had the backpack on wrong. But the tanks go to the top, do they not? Well, I am glad to see that. That goes in there. That looks like it's going to stay. I have an issue with these classified backpacks. I don't even put them on all of my figures in my display because it makes them so top heavy, and I've got so many figures crammed together. I can't really do super dynamic poses on my shelf because, as you know, those are kind of they're kind of tricky, and I walk around in this room a lot and might a little bump or something. So they're just kind of in vanilla poses for most of them. I'm going to rotate them in and out on the new shelving that I've got in here and kind of show off some of them and put them in poses. But for the most part, mine are not in any kind of dynamic pose. This is his gun. I call it a gun. Did we ever know what the hell this thing actually was? I don't think it's ever determined. It's been a mystery lost to time. Nice update on it, because this thing is, it's half the size of him, of the figure. So they scaled this one out, made it a little better. You know, I mean, it is a big weapon, but this one, for whatever this is way too big. And of course, you know, you couldn't get good poses on this guy. He either held it like that or he held it by the hose, and that was about all you could do. Get him like that. But when you had the hose on there, it was harder to get his hand around it and go up on there. I'm not messing around with him any more than I am because his thumbs are there, but as you can see, his wiener is not. He lost his wiener in a fight against G.I. Joe back in probably about 1988 or 89. So he actually does draw 100% disability from that, from Cobra. I was surprised at that too. So the hose, if he's in his left hand here, if you've got this plugged into the left port, that does not reach at all. So let's turn the backpack around, which makes more sense. You get more room with it that way. I think they talked about this in the stream. I know, Lord, it was discussed in the comments. So his backpack with these at the bottom. I don't like the tanks at the bottom, but I guess that is how it is really supposed to go. See, this has got the tanks at the top on the picture, but you've got to turn them. You've got to turn it that way to get any kind of movement out of this. And you can put it, of course, that is in the right. Since I swapped it, get a little more that way. These are pretty much going to have to go on the bottom to get any kind of range with that silver hose. I don't know. I kind of like it. Pump that. I kind of like it with it up there at the top. I'm afraid that may make him top heavy with it at the top. Let's put it in the other hand and the other side. Weapon goes in. I call it a weapon because, you know, we just talked about that. It does go in. The handle is a little bit gummy. It's better than what we've seen. It is for sure better than the 60th anniversary dudes. So we'll put that over there. I am going to hit him with a little bit of heat, though. So just the idea of, there we go. Idea of what that looks like on him. Buttstock will kind of fit there. He's got a butterfly. He's actually got a decent range of motion in his butterfly. Somebody's probably pointed that out. As I said, I've not watched any videos on this dude because I was so excited to get him here. I usually will watch a review, but if it's a figure that I really, really look forward to, one of my favorites, I don't. So that's going to take a little work, but he'll hold that. They made this actually long enough for him to be able to hold it that way. I'll fool around with that. It will go. He's got enough room for that to go in there. Go. It's Cobra. We don't use trigger discipline. So he's pretty sharp. I'm a little unhappy about that. It's looser than I'd like, but I can live with it. I don't think it's going to stop him from getting in any poses. You ought to be able to compensate for that with the ratchet system and the posing of the legs. I am going to hit him with a little bit of heat. So we didn't look at this yet. This is his little hologram readout that he comes with. Let's see if we can get a look at that. It's just red because it's supposed to be like a projection coming out of his little wrist thing. Looks to be the same. Nope. One side is textured. So one side of it is textured and the other side is flat for the most part. It's got a little bit there, but I don't think it would really matter like which way he's looking at it. There's no words on it or anything that I can tell. It's all symbols. So, but it does have a way that it's supposed to orient. And anytime I pick this thing up, this is what I'm going to do to try to figure out which way that is. So this should plug right in. Does fit in there pretty snugly. So you can have him looking at it. Well, everybody has this dude posed with the hiss because, right now for the hiss technician, because we haven't got the text missile yet with the fire team dude. I'm undecided on whether or not I'm going to buy that, but by the time I buy him loose, probably will be spending half of what I'll be spending for the whole thing anyway. So I may bite the bullet and buy it because I got the rest of the fire team, even though I'm not crazy about them. So I got to have Techno too. that is a look at him. I'll get him up here on the Lazy Susan. So, got him up there for your viewing pleasure. New to the stage, please welcome Techno-Viper. I realized I did not show any of the wrenches or the other things plugged into the hose while I was doing that, so I thought I'd go ahead and throw that on there. Little techie fail while I was in the process. The gun does not look like it will port on the backpack anywhere. The trigger guard, I thought maybe it was meant to fit on the other side of where the hose goes that you're not using, and maybe that's why we didn't get another hose. But as you can see, it's way too wide all the way around the rifle. Maybe I'm missing something with him. Now I'll watch other reviews, and if it's there, I'm sure somebody else has already pointed it out. But I don't see a way for that to go on the backpack. So I don't know what you do with the gun if he has his other tools attached. But this might be the quickest one I've ever done for one of the figures I've been looking forward to the most. I do like the holster. Some people may not, but I do like the way that they've done some of these new holsters where it's attached to the belt there. That way the holsters don't fall down all the way down their leg and trip them while they're trying to run when Cobra Commander yells retreat. I like him, y'all. He is not as good as I hoped overall, but he is as good as I hoped for as far as recreating this figure. Does it very nicely, and he's a fantastic looking figure. I got two of them. I'll open the other one later. But y'all, pick him up unless you just did not like this character for some reason. I know at least one person that does not like this character and just never liked him as a kid. And hey, that's the way I was with a lot of them. But I love him, really do. So I am, because of that loose waist, I'm going to give him a 4. He's getting a 4 yeehaws. That's 8. And he gets 4 yeehaws from me. Actually, let's give him 4.25. He gets 4 1/4 yeehaws because we're doing quarters this year on the new rating system for me. That extra, if the waist was not loose, probably would have brought this guy up to damn near perfect for me. I try to detach the actual product from how I feel about the character. I'm going to have to do that in my next review, but he really is a good figure. So I highly recommend picking him up for your Cobra Army. This will be a great one to Army build because that purple is going to pop when you put it on a shelf somewhere, anywhere. Look at it against the red. So I highly do recommend getting this guy if you can get your hands on him. Should be available everywhere. So, guys, I appreciate you coming by for listening to me talk about one of my favorite Vipers. He's coming. You know what he's coming for. I will see you next time. Please leave a like, hit that subscribe button, share this video, hook me up in that algorithm. We'll get some more people drawn to the 3-star draw side. And I will check you guys out next time. Again, this is 3-star draw. He's gonna fix your computer and say, did I do that like Steve Urkel?